I am Doctor McFarland. Some Helix and Headrush amplifiers and some other stuff. And apparently there's some weird noises going on. And I have no idea. I have no idea. So let me open up my YouTube here. What? What is going on? Sounds like there's a delay. How about now? How about now? Check. All right, so my output was going to an audio monitor that was feeding the black hole 16 channel or something. So I'm going to turn down this thing here. There's always something with these softwares. All right. At first I thought you said there was something with the Helix, but it's not the Helix. Well, there you go, guys. Let's get this thing started. So what we got in front of us tonight is a Helix. Let me add in myself here. Whoa. And for some reason, I can only change it from like the bottom corner, which is dumb. Oh, shoot. See, I can't grab that corner for some reason. But this will be fine. mean no video? What do you mean no video? All right, can you see me now? Aaron, I'm freaking using Ecamm Live. And I don't know why this stuff is so hard. It doesn't need to be hard. Got my cameras on. Oh, yeah. Back to live mode. Should be live. I mean, I'm there. Maybe I was in preview mode. I don't know. All right, so here we go. I have the Helix in front of me. This is the Helix floor. It's the big boy, the Grand Poobah. And I'm going to use this little joystick here. And we are going to add in, I'm going to push on it. We can go all the way to the bottom. Go to send and return, mono. And we're going to go to effects loop 1. So now you should be hearing whatever is coming from my Headrush gig board over here in the corner. Just use the touchscreen. No, I can't. There's just not a touchscreen, guys. It's not a freaking touchscreen. The Helix does not have a touchscreen. The Headrush does. So, sorry, I'm getting aggravated. All right, I'm going to put the tails on. Use my jog wheel. And let's add in an amplifier. And I'm going to go ahead and add in a cab as well. Single cab. We're going to make it a 4x12. And let's do a Brit V30. And we'll go to action. And we're going to move it. And I'm going to turn off the impulse response here on the Headrush. All right, now let's go over here and I'm going to touch a switch. That's going to allow me to assign the effects loop 1 to that switch. So pretty cool. And let's turn off the delay and the reverb. Let's actually move my amplifier down here so I can reach it. And I'm going to go on the Headrush here, and I'm going to grab a J45 to start off with. All right. And yeah, I wish this was a touchscreen. It'd make it wouldn't make things easier. It just make things different. So So J45 on a Helix is called Brit J45, and we'll make it bright. All right, so going over the parameters here, we have drive, bass, middle, treble, presence, channel volume, which is not the same as a master volume. Because on the next page, we do have a master volume. So any amplifier that does not have a master volume, line 6 automatically makes it 10, makes it all the way up. And then you're going to get most of your volume from the drive knob here. Okay. So I'm going to do everything from the front panel. I'm not going to use HX Edit or anything like that. And that'll be fine. You shouldn't be seeing that. You should be seeing what I'm seeing. All right. Let me know if you can see my Helix and my beautiful face. Yeah, nothing on line 6 products have touchscreens. None of them. Okay. Elizabeth is in the house. What is going on, Elizabeth? Whoa. And Kevin's like, just use the touchscreen. Helix doesn't have a touchscreen, but the Headrush does. So the only 2 units out in the wild that have a touchscreen is, as far as I know, is Headrush and the Quad Cortex. We've already gone over the Quad Cortex in previous streams. All right, I gotta get to where I can hear this a little bit better. Let's turn me up. All right, so J45 Helix amp. And see, I just touched it because it's not a touchscreen. All right, so I'm going to add this to a loop. So when I turn that off and turn the loop on, now we're switching back to the Headrush. Okay. So let's figure out what we can dial in here. I'm going to turn down the mids and the treble and the presence. And let's actually go to the cab, change the microphone to a 121. Actually, we'll change it to a 421. We'll bring the low cut up. We'll take the high cut down to about 5 or so. And 0 degrees. Okay, new preset. We'll just save it. Really the only amps I really truly enjoy on the Helix is the Archetype, the PRS Archon models. Let me tune one more time here. You can check out the tuner. So now I'm using my Chapman ML2, ML2 Pro. What I like about this guitar is it has stainless steel frets. It has satin everything on it. So very smooth. The neck is smooth. It has a nice heel joint right here. So like just total access to everything. It's a great practice guitar. I'm tuning. All right. FX loop. And that is loud. So I'm going to touch. Oh, come on. So channel volume. If I want the volume to go up without adjusting the tone, you want to adjust the channel volume. When you adjust the master volume, that's like you're adjusting the power amp section of the amp. Same with the Headrush. This amp model doesn't have a master volume, so you can't really do that on the Headrush, but you can on the Helix. So all right, so far we're kind of bright on the Headrush, which is not bad. So there's the Headrush amp, and here's the Helix amp. And we're pretty dark. So let's brighten it up. All right, that actually sounds pretty close. That sounds pretty close. I'm going to adjust the send and return levels here. These are a little hotter. For some reason, my Focusrite control software is not coming up. So whatever it sounds like in my ears, I hope it sounds all right to you guys. All right, have a good night, Elizabeth. Our kids are down in Georgia at the moment, so we just have to deal with one baby. All right, a few more adjustments here. Let's go back to our normal volume. Bring down the presence. Okay, I think that tone is pretty close. That's the Headrush. And that's the line 6. Okay, not too bad. We're going to go on now to a Princeton reverb. So let's click on our jog wheel here. Move it on up till we get to the US Princess. Why are we crackling? Now, with the master volume at 10, I could technically bring that down to have less gain, but I'm just going to adjust the drive knob. And turn up the channel volume to just... This channel volume is like moving a fader up and down. It's just a linear volume ride for your amp. All right. I don't know if it's my headphones or what. I'm going to switch these out. To some other headphones. I'm hearing some crackling in there, so I'd rather not hear that all night if I can help it. So I attempted, ooh, that's better. I can actually hear. I attempted to do a interview a few days ago for the podcast using Ecamm Live. and my guest had some wicked echo on his voice, which pretty much ruined the whole thing. So, oh yeah, a little bit better. So that's the Headrush. Here's the line 6 Helix. Okay. Headrush has slightly more low end, so I'm going to bring up the bass on the Helix, bring down the treble. Now on the Helix, we have some extra parameters called sag, hum, ripple, bias, and bias X. I usually don't mess with those too much unless I just feel like I need to, but I try to treat all these virtual amplifiers like the real thing. So just adjusting, basic volume, treble, middle, bass, stuff like that. So. Kentucky in the house. Sean White is in the house. Not a whole lot. We are just working out some kinks. And I may go back and edit out that front part if I can. If all possible. And just comparing some Headrush and Helix amplifiers. We may be just a little hot on the Helix, maybe. Well, I am hearing some crackling in my ears, but I don't know what that is. So back to Helix. I feel like these are pretty close. Back to too much bass on the Helix. Okay, these live streams are sponsored by drmcfarlandstudios.com. And if you are interested in supporting the channel and what I do here online, I have some Headrush courses you can look into. I do a monthly live stream where I do some Headrush rigs. And then I also have added some Helix studio presets. So all the rigs and presets that I make for these units, you can find those on the website. They are a one-time payment for life. And each new, preset or rig I add to those, you can just download for, no extra cost. So please do that if you are going to consider giving a super chat or anything like that. I mean, I really don't mind if you do a super chat, but most of that money does go back to YouTube, and not a lot of it really goes to the YouTuber. YouTube takes a large chunk of super chats. So if you really want to support me, just go to the website, buy some Headrush stuff or a Helix, studio pack, or if you want to learn about music theory or recording or all kinds of other stuff I have available on the website. So go and check that out. All right, I feel like these are pretty close. Let's add in a tube screamer. Let's see, actually, this was under favorites. Nothing's under favorites yet. Mono, Kinky Boost, T-Maw. I mean, Scream 808. Let's just do the Pillars. I like the Pillars overdrive. And as I'm shooting out stuff, if you want to ask any kind of questions about anything music, anything about gear, this is Tac-O-Bout Gear. So go ahead and ask away, and we can stop and discuss about different gear stuff. But okay, back to the Headrush. That's pretty close. All right, let's see if I can go to I'm going to go between two different. Let's go to global settings here. I just made a video on this last night on how to see different things across the switches. So right now it's set to preset and stomp, which is fine, but I'm going to have it set to preset and snapshots. Okay. So what this is going to allow us to do is on snapshot 1, I'm going to have the Headrush. And on snapshot 2 is going to be the Helix amplifier. Okay. So because of that, I can go back to here. Snapshot 1 is my Headrush. Now I don't have to worry about, turning one off and turning the other one on. And just go directly to the next sound, and that'll be it. So Headrush. Okay, other than some slight volume bumps here and there, I mean, they pretty much sound the same to me. So back to Headrush. Turn that channel volume back up. All right. I like that. That sounds mighty fine. All right, we're going to now go to, let's go to, I'm really not a big fan of the Vox AC30. Not really sure why. Let's dial in a Vox sound here on the Headrush. And that is dirty, but we'll keep it dirty. We'll keep it dirty in this case. We'll move on from the clean sounds here. All right, so click on the amp. Let's go on down to the, so the SX15 and 30, or we have the A30, fawn, normal, and bright. And I'll do the bright one. So let's check this out. Something is kind of farty sounding on the line 6 one. Let's turn off the pillars here. Let's add the pillars to a switch. Yes, and we'll turn that off. So snapshot 1, pillars off. Snapshot 2, pillars off. Okay. We'll save it. So now we're back to still kind of overdriven. So on the AC30, there's a cut knob that turned all the way counterclockwise. That's the brightest it will get. Then as you turn it clockwise, it'll essentially get darker. It's like a low pass filter. So it's cutting the highs and passing the lows. So that's the Headrush. And Helix. It's just so bright. It's very, very bright. All right. I like the Headrush in that case. Just sounds like poop. Sounds like poop to me. All right, let's go into another amp. Now we're gonna do a JCM 800 something something. Okay. Click on the jog wheel. Let's go down to 2204-ish. Something like that. It should be a JCM 800. Sounds like it's being choked. Turn the master down. Oh, Aaron, I saw the JHS video today. Those guys are silly. They are silly. Now, whether he was actually using a Kemper this whole last year instead of the Milkman amp, maybe not. But it was a good opportunity for him to profile his amplifiers and then sell them to, make money, because that's what people do, right? Sean, I do not. It sounds fine on my end, so I'm not really sure what the issue is, and I'm sorry if there's weirdness going on. Yeah, that's what he said. But when he was playing through the Kemper in the audio examples, there wasn't a cable plugged into the front either. So unless there's a input jack on the back of the toaster, there was nothing plugged in on the front. So I'm not exactly sure how he was getting into the toaster. I would need to look at where an extra input jack would be on the toaster, but I didn't see one there when they were doing the video. So, okay, there is. Yeah, well, Tone Junkie made those profiles, so I'm sure they're splitting it somehow. 50-50 or 60-40, something like that. I don't know, whatever it is. But I actually went into the rig exchange in the Kemper rig manager today and just got all the free ones. And there's some good ones in there. They sound really good. I found a profile of a TH30 from Orange, which is an amp I used to have, and sounded good. So all right, so we have a JCM 800 on the Helix, and here it is on the Headrush. turn down some bass, maybe add some drive. Alright, so very similar to last week, there's just certain amps on the Headrush that has this upper mid-range bark to the sound. Like the Helix version of the JCM 800 sounds a little more scooped, even though the mid-range is boosted a little bit. So all right, that's the Helix, and there's the Headrush. All right, that's actually sounds pretty good. I can't see my DAW here. I'm gonna record some stuff. So let's go. Let's see. This is going into channel 3. All right, hopefully the drums will not be loud, but let me know how this sounds to you guys. And if it's loud, then I'm sorry. I'm going to turn the monitor down just slightly. All right, here we go. Nah, I don't want that crap on there. I'm going to make a new track. Let me go here so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. So audio track. This is going to be EG1. And we'll make it input 3. Okay, something like that. We'll go out here, and here we go. Okay. We record on 2 tracks. My camera's in the way. I can't see what I'm doing. Oh, yeah. All right, cool. And now, let's see. Make sure I frame this right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So we're gonna cut that. Cut that end off. Cut this end off. And we're gonna hold down Command D. We're gonna duplicate it out a few times. Something like that. Let's go ahead and duplicate this track. New playlist. We'll make it after the current selection. We'll arm it. And here we go. So I'm just going to record some stuff real fast so I can compare. Sorry, my camera is right in the way of my my TV here. So. All right, so guitar 1 was Headrush. So now Let me do this real fast so I don't get confused. This is going to be the Helix, and I just drop my pick. Great. Grab this one. And we'll actually... I can always turn it up after the fact. But that's fine. All right. 2 measures of pre-roll. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Cut that one off. Let's pan this left. We'll pan this one right. And we'll go ahead and duplicate this a few times. And here we go. All right, so that's a good level in my ears, but let me know if I need to bring up the music, okay? Which I can if I need to. How's that? All right, that's pretty fun. Pretty fun. Let's add in some delay. And I also have another video coming out about this one pretty shortly. I made some really short videos last night, but I really like the heliosphere. Just for the fact that I can bring in some cool reverb along with the delay, and it sounds like this. I want this to be .8s. Okay, probably need a little less feedback. So it kind of takes care of the reverb and the delay in one block, which is cool. And I could do something like this, where I had in a snapshot, I could have my delay mix down. And then in another snapshot, I could have the delay mix back up. So I can just keep the reverb on the whole time, but then adjust the amount of delay I want in there. If you can't hear it, I'm not really sure why. Yeah, it's not coming through up there. It ain't coming through. Let me do this. Let me go down and change this to... I should have a loop back option. It's only giving me outputs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I really have no idea. The Focusrite Control software, of course, is not coming up. Services. All right, I'm not going to worry about it right now. All right, I like this. Let's go back to the Headrush. Cool. All right, now we're going to go to... Let's go to a... Cali Rectifier. Maybe. Now let's go to a Sodano. And so we got slow 100, SLO 100 in here. Put that on extended range. I usually keep the gain down about 30% or so. Yeah, I should be able to send the output of my DAW to the loopback, but it's just not... It's not allowing me to do that. It's very strange. So this is SLO 100. So once again, we're in the situation where we have the upper mids being more scooped on the line 6 and then more barky, more honky sounding on the Headrush. It's not a bad thing. It's just different. So I bet you if I plugged in my Quad Cortex and compare the Helix to the Quad Cortex, they'd be very close in that regard. Because I remember the Quad Cortex having that more of a mid scooped kind of sound, where the Headrush. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, let's turn on the pillars. Okay, let's turn off this pillars here. All right, so far, SLO 100 on the Helix is more scooped than the Headrush. It is what it is, folks. All right, now let's go ahead and go to a tread plate modern on the Headrush. And we're going to do a little Cali Rectifier on the Helix here. Whoa, I did change. Weird. There we go. Snapshot 2. Snapshot 1. Okay, I was about to say, nothing changed there, and I was freaking out because it was like, that sounded really too close. Thamrus is in the house. The Greek god of guitar tone, Thamrus. Oh, come on. Why does it sound so scooped? It's just crap. Bunch of crap. All right, master up. Let's get some beef out of this thing. Now, if you use the Helix in a band situation, you can run the risk of getting lost in the mix, because all those scooped mids is not going to do you any good when you're playing in a full band situation. You have to have mid range. That's where the guitar sits in the overall mix. So if you don't have that, you're going to be lost. See, I even have the mids up on the Helix. And it just doesn't help. It doesn't do anything. This is dumb. Turn the master up. Turn the channel volume down. Yeah, I hadn't seen you in a while, Thamrus. And definitely do not get a catheter if you can help it. I haven't had one yet, but I'm still relatively young, so I guess that really doesn't matter sometimes. But back to Headrush. Now, on the Headrush, I can bring down the mids a little bit. Let's see what that does. Doesn't matter, though. Let me bring down the present so it's not as bright. Now, what's funny is I'm actually going to be profiling some of my modelers with my Kemper. I may do it with the Quad Cortex as well, but I've really decided that the Kemper is a great platform. I like it a lot, and so it'll be Headrush and Kemper for me moving forward. I don't want to give anything away, but I'm definitely not keeping the Helix. I like the Fractal AX8, but the Kemper does win out in a lot of regards as far as usability and dialing in sounds and whatnot. So, and I like the Quad Cortex as well, but I can't keep everything because I don't have endless supplies of money. So, go figure on that one. Let's bring in the PV. Panama, boo, 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 Panama. bring the drive down on that. And let's go here. And let's bring in the PV5150 lead channel. How about that? Now you want a Kemper. Yeah, Kempers are cool. They're very good. Yeah, this Headrush, the Headrush amps do sound good through the Helix cab right here. So I saw Jonathan Nathan Cordy today talk about the size of the Helix. And when you hold up HX Effects, I mean, to me, it's just the perfect size, a perfect platform. If the HX Effects was actually a Helix, like a full-on Helix that had all the amps and effects in there, I just think it'd be a great size and form factor to carry around, especially the same size as the Quad Cortex. Though the Quad Cortex has a touchscreen and some extra switches and stuff, but HX Effects is great. I love that little device. If you want great effects that you can pair up with literally any amp in the world, whether it's a tube amp or solid state or just whatever you have, HX Effects is great because you can switch channels on it. You can send PC and CC messages to other devices that do weird stuff, and it's just a great unit. So, that was the Headrush. This is the Helix PV amp. All right, this one sounds a little closer tonally overall. Let's bring up the treble on this. Let me bring the mids up on this. Let me bring the presence up on the Headrush. Let's darken it up a bit. He is a great player. He is definitely a Helix user. So if you can get great tones out of a Helix, then there you go. Who's to say it's not a great unit, right? So this is the Helix right now with the PV amp and the Headrush. So once again, Headrush just a little more barky in the mid-range versus the Line 6 amps, which is just, they're either mid-scooped or something's going on. Probably if we analyze these on a graph to see the frequency ranges and cuts and boosts and stuff, I'm sure we'd have a better picture of, you know, what this would look like. So I can, for instance, let me right click on here. I might need to make a range. Yes, I do. Spectral analysis. So this thing, this is essentially the sound of the JCM 800 amplifier from the Headrush. And now I'm going to go here, do the same thing. Can I see both of them at the same time? Why not? Why can't I see both at the same time? They do not look the same to me. But anyway. See, they're definitely cut. There's not a lot going on past 8K. Like it drastically jumps off past 8K right there. So all your sound is in these low mids. 125, 500 to 100 or so. That's where the oomph of the guitar lives, in that range. Well, I think Sean, I think JNC just prefers the Helix, and that's just his go-to sound, his go-to device. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the Spider amps are actually pretty decent. So, all right, that's a good amp. Let's see what else we got here. Let's go to an orange 8030, which on here is called the Citrus something. Let's see where it's at here. Okay, there's the matchstick. All right, so the Mandarin rocker is what we're looking at here. So this is technically a rocker verb, and we're going to shoot it out against the 8030. So it's not exactly the same amp, but it'll be in the ballpark close. Let me go back to my Helix stuff here. I wonder real fast why that is really not playing. Showing background. Zoom to app windows. Oh no. Stick with this Headrush view, or the Helix view here. Alright, so that's the orange rocker verb. And here's the Headrush 8030. Very scooped. Very, very scooped. Let's just take the mids all the way out. Let's go to our speaker here. So I have the high cut at 5K and the lows cut at 100, so 100-ish. I can change the mic position slightly, but I've seen JNC bring his high cut all the way down to like 3 something, so for those really dark lead tones. And I can't remember. Yeah, I have my global EQ off right now, so you're just hearing the straight amps from the Headrush, and with no EQ or processing or anything. Alright, this is with the mids all the way down on the Headrush. And it's still got tons of brightness to it. Let's bring the gain all the way up. Actually, it's bringing the master up a little bit. Alright. Helix has a lot more bass. So I brought the bass up on the Headrush, so this is what this sounds like. There's nothing I can do, it's just gonna sound barky. Which, if you had two guitar players in your band, one played a Helix and the other played a Headrush, I would go out on a limb and say that the Headrush user would be heard a lot better in the mix than the Helix guy would. Okay, that sounds good. Let's go to our matchstick amp. So this is supposed to be a Matchless DC30. We'll bring the drive down. Channel volume up. It also has the same cut feature that a Vox AC30 has. So the higher you are, the more it's a high cut, low pass filter. So it's going to cut the highs and pass the lows. And we're going to go to the Headrush and find our MS30 amplifier. Where are you at? Where are you at? There we are. MS30. Bring the volume down on this. We'll bring the cut up a little bit. All right, see what this said. This one only has volume, treble, bass, master volume, and cut. So whew, those two actually sound very, 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 very close. This is the Helix. Master volume, bring that all the way up on the Headrush. Cool. So these two amps, the DC30 amp on the Headrush and the Helix sound very, very close. Very close. This is the Helix. For an hour and 12 minutes here. We're gonna wind it down. I did stay up very, very late last night, and I got some more stuff to do tonight after this stream. So this is the Helix again. This is the middle position, so it's both pickups. So snapshot 2 once again is the Helix. Snapshot 1 is the Headrush. Yeah, always glad when you come in and join in on the conversation. So hope you stay safe and have a great Christmas season here coming this weekend, and hope you enjoy your family. Yeah, these two amps are so close. All right, now I do say all right a lot, and I'm sorry in advance. What is the JC120 on the Helix? It is the Jazz Rivet 120. So it should be a very, very clean amp. And I'm going to go over here to the Headrush and bring in the newly added J120. Yep. Okay, this has drive, bass, middle, treble, presence, channel, volume, master, and bright. Let's bring the bright up, see what that does. Because on the Headrush, we have a high treble and we have a treble. So it's just interesting. Jazz Rivet 120 sounds pretty good. This is the Headrush. Once again, the Helix is slightly scooped in the mid-range, even though the mids are down on here. So let's bring the bass, middle, treble at 12 o'clock. Yeah. Okay, both fine sounding amps. I would mainly just keep these clean. Let's put the delay on a switch. That is my favorite feature out of all the modelers, is being able to choose a block on the screen, touching a switch, and now it's automatically assign foot switch to bypass selected block. Yes. So it's very easy to swap things. And also if I touch 2, and that's just swap all assigned, yes. So now the Helix filler is here, and the pillars is over there. If I touch them again, it's going to swap it back. So that is a cool feature on the Helix. Nothing else really does that. Nothing else has capacitance switches. So I have all these modelers, profilers, and capture devices because I'm learning about all these different nuances of what these devices offer. But I can tell you right now that you can make a great album. You can play live just fine with really any of these, and you're going to sound great. So it's just a matter of taking the time, dialing in your sounds, how you want to hear them, and just going out and having fun. That's really all you can ask for. It's really all you can ask for. Something easy enough to where you can get around on the unit. You can dial in your sounds. Maybe you just need a clean, crunched lead. Maybe something with some phase, something with some flange, some chorus, some tremolo, and just go out and play. So okay, we got louder there. But why did we get louder? I have no idea. Any more amps? Any more amps I want to do? Let's go ahead and go over my favorite amps here on the Helix. Why is it doing that? Oh, because both of them are on. Sorry. Snapshot 1 has the Headrush. Snapshot 2 has the Helix. Okay. Yeah. It's all in the way that you use it, as Eric Clapton would say. It's in the way that you use it, yeah. Comes and it goes. Alright, so archetype clean. This is just a good amp, right? And then if we go over to the lead, turn down the drive a little bit. See, that has a lot of gain, a lot of beef to it. All right, I'm going to save that. So for example, on the Helix, I have a video coming out about this as well. You can have spillover between presets as long as you don't have two lines. As long as you keep it to one core, you can have spillover. So check this out. Right, you hear that? So here's the clean. When I switched over to a new preset, the delay and reverb spill over. So that's something that was added back in like 3.0 or something. But if you have an HX Stomp, you can't have that functionality. It'll only do it on the full-size Helix floor, because essentially they're using the other core. You can have two lines right here, but they're using that second core for the spillover processing. But the Headrush actually does that already by default. So I think the Headrush is slightly more powerful than the Helix in many ways. And if you have a MX5 from Headrush, you have the exact same power as the gig board and the full-size pedal board. So even the Headrush MX5, I dare to say, is more powerful than the Helix floor. Just in that regard of like the spillover capabilities that the Headrush has, that really the Helix also has, but you're limited in what you can do if you turn on that feature. So okay, let's go on down to the Line 6 specific amplifiers. This is the Line 6 Ventu. Okay, and this is the electric. And this is the Doom. Okay, the Epic. JCM 800 mod. Fatality. Yeah, that sounds mean. Litigator, which is a Dumble. The Badonk. Bring the drive down on that. Okay, and that's it. So there are plenty of Line 6 specific amplifiers that they've added, and I do like that concept of just having some generic amp models and also possibly drive models. The Kemper kind of does this with their Kemper drive. It's essentially one drive effect that can model like a Tube Screamer and a Klon and a Timmy and some other stuff. But what generic names does for you, and the AX8, let me grab this here. The Fractal AX8 also has FAS amp models. And what I like about that is you're less concerned about, oh, it has to be a Mesa Boogie, or it has to be a SLO, or it has to be a Marshall or something. You're kind of going for general tones versus being pigeonholed into always having to use, a certain amplifier. Because at some point, you're going to get a clean sound. You're going to get a crunch sound or a rhythm sound. You're going to find a cool lead sound that you like. And it really doesn't matter what those are called, as long as the sounds are there. I hope that makes sense. So I almost wish Headrush or Quad Cortex or, some of these other manufacturers would just make generalized tones and not be so worried about, oh, this has to be the exact components of a JCM 800 or whatever. Let's see. There's a Blue Guitar Amp 1 over here that has a clean, vintage, classic and modern. Clean, vintage, classic, modern. And you can kind of tell what Thomas Blug was going for when he made those circuits. And that's kind of what I'm talking about, is for clean, you can either have it be Voxy, or you can have it be more Fendery, sparkly sounding, just by turning the tone knob on the side of the unit. And, does it really matter if it's exactly like a Vox or if it's exactly like a Fender. I really don't think so. As long as it's a clean sound that's usable, it's really to me all that matters. So here's a Rev Gen Purple amplifier. Uh-oh. Put on my bridge pickup here. And Rev Gen Red. See, to me, those two amps just sounded too similar. And is that any better than a Line 6 Fatality, for instance? Then I think some people use the Ventu as a clean platform. It's kind of clean, so put it on the middle position. Thamris, what are you talking about as far as similar or same processing? Similar or same processing. The Headrush is using the exact same processing on all three models. I know the Litigator is used a lot for Dumble style tones. You can bring the drive down, the channel volume up. And you can get a nice, cleanish kind of sound. And what's neat about using snapshots on a Helix is you can have one amplifier in between two different snapshots. For instance, if I have the drive here, right? How do I do this? Oh, I got to push and turn. So if you push and turn on the knob, that brings in like a little white thing there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's just a little white line. And I'll do the same thing on the channel volume. So this is going to be snapshot 2. This is going to be my clean sound. And then if I go over the snapshot 3, actually snapshot 2, let's save that. Now snapshot 3, I'm going to turn the drive up and the channel volume down a little bit. And save that. And now we should be going back and forth. And we are. So we have the drive down on snapshot 2 and the drive up on snapshot 3, which is really cool. Now I'll actually turn that up a little bit more. Thamris, maybe you were talking about the looper board versus the Headrush, possibly. Save that. Alright, so that's a good example of using one amp and having a cleanish tone. And then go into another snapshot. Headrush does not have generic Headrush made amps. They just base everything off of, you know, whatever they've modeled. But I don't mind if they would come out with some just generic, here's a clean, here's a crunch, here's a rhythm, a lead. You know, it's pretty much all we really require when we play, right? It's like that litigator sound right there. I mean, it might be very close to a JCM 800 or something. And the fact that it's called something different, but you get a similar sound, that's really where I'm going with this, you know, with my little talk here is it doesn't have to say Marshall on the headstock or on the faceplate. As long as it gets a similar sound, that's really all that matters. So, all right, guys. Thank you all for chiming in. And I don't know why my outro is being dumb. Yeah, I don't know why. We'll stick with this though. So another Tuesday. I thought it was going to go a little smoother there toward the front than it actually did. I still have a lot to learn about Ecamm Live and adjusting all the different settings and stuff. So I'll get it figured out eventually, and I'll keep working with it. But the word of the day is tone. Tone tacos. Talk about gear on Tuesdays. Talk about tone. Talk about all things music and whatever. So once again, these Tuesday live streams are sponsored by my website, drmcfarlandstudios.com. If you want to go and donate to the channel by purchasing a Headrush course or a Helix studio preset pack, you can find all that there in the shop area on my website. And I don't mind, like I said before, I don't mind people doing super chats and stuff like that. But a lot of that money doesn't, you know, goes back to actual YouTube and not to the YouTuber, because there's a large fee that gets taken out of the of those super chats. So if you want to donate, just go to my website. Also, if you want to use my affiliate links, that would be great. If you're going to shop on Amazon or Sweetwater, and just click on my link, you're going to be sent to your destination. And then whatever you shop, whatever you buy during that length of time, I'll get a small commission from that at no cost to you. So that is another way of supporting the channel. You can buy a Sonic DNA IR pack, which is the Doctor McFarland IR pack. That would be helpful as well. And yeah, just check the links down below. And stay tuned for next week, where we will probably do a Fractal or a Kemper based episode of Talk About Gear. So thanks guys for watching. I am Dr. McFarland, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep rocking.